Hello, everyone. This is Cheyenne Marling with BC Management to discuss your BCM personnel needs. And there are certainly things to consider for your program, what makes sense for your immediate needs as well as in the future, and also to discuss what makes sense to look at either a contract to hire, or direct hiring for your program. So let's look at some of the strategic. What does your program need? Do you have the right level of resiliency? Is your program designed to meet your company response objectives? Do you have enough program staff to meet your program goals? And do you have a repeatable, consistent program established to deliver the right level of continuity? And think about the skills and the tools for your current personnel. Does your current team have the right skills and tools to get the job done? Do you have a mix of both strategic and tactical personnel to accomplish your program goals? Does your current personnel complement each other in regards to skills and competencies to meet the program needs? And do you have the bandwidth to meet your internal customer value? Do you have the confidence that you can respond and recover to the internal customer needs? Are you keeping up to the pace and the needs of the changes within the program and within the organization? And do you have the right staff in place? Do they want it? Do they get it? Do they understand business continuity planning? And do they have the bandwidth and the capability to perform what needs to get done to meet the program goals and the company objectives? And are there any gaps in the program or company needs? So several of our clients and organizations, they have offices in Asia Pacific and EMEA, and that tends to be the biggest gap within your program planning. You could have a great team at the corporate location, but what if something were to occur in Asia Pacific or in EMEA? Do you have the confidence that you can meet the program needs, you can meet the internal customer needs in recovering in an event if something were to occur outside of your corporate location? Now, looking at the current market trends, before you decide which direction to take, you definitely need to consider the unemployment rate. Is employment rate, is it going to be easier or harder to hire a contract to hire, or direct hire? You also need to think about the current market trends or demand within the business continuity profession. Are business continuity professionals in high demand? What are other companies looking for when they're looking to hire business continuity professionals at the given time, at the given moment? And are there any localized trends, meaning that we have seen over time that there are certain geographies that so many companies are looking to hire at the same time, and that increases the marketability or the pool of where you can find candidates and how quickly they're picked up. So think about if there's any localized trends in which a lot of companies are hiring at the moment, maybe perhaps in San Francisco. We've seen the same within Charlotte, where it's been a very competitive market for several companies within just Charlotte. So definitely think about the localized trends as well. Now, when should you consider to hire a contract to hire professional? So think about the current needs of the program. Do you have any short-term project-related tasks where it makes sense to bring in someone for 3 to 6 months to assist with a BIA or to assist with an exercise? Do you have any specialized skills that you need for the short term that your current staff does not have? Is there a current shortfall with your current staff? Is there maternity leave? Is someone out on short-term or long-term disability where you just need to cover that head count in a short period of time? When you look to hire contract to hire, there's certainly a quicker approval process within the company as a whole. So as you know, typically once a year, you have to project what your program needs are, and you go through the approval process, right? But if you're looking to hire a contract to hire, you can certainly sometimes circumvent that process and submit your need at any time during the year. And you, as well as if there's currently a hiring freeze, sometimes you can bring in a contract to hire if your company is currently within a hiring freeze at the moment. There's also cost consideration. So if you bring in a contract to hire, you don't have the 401k or the benefits that you're paying, and so you definitely have those cost considerations for the short term to consider. And if you do hire someone as a contractor, you can always kind of test them before you make that long-term commitment to hiring them as a direct hire permanent staff. Now, on the other opposite side, when should you consider to hire direct hire personnel? So if you have long-term program goals that you need to meet, and it's going to be much more time extensive or time consuming versus something that's a short-term project need. So think about what your program needs, long-term, short-term, and if it makes sense to make that commitment to bring in someone on a direct hire permanent basis. Do you have succession planning that you need to consider? Do you have someone on your team that's going to be retiring soon? Perhaps that could be a consideration where you need to bring in staff and get them trained so you don't have the missing staffing within your current program. When you do consider direct hire, it definitely opens up to a larger candidate pool because candidates are not going to leave a permanent position for a contract to hire position. So if you know that you have an immediate need and it is something that's going to continue within the program and it's going to be a long-term personnel need, certainly take a look at doing the direct hire option because it does open up the pool of candidates are available to you. Also, if you do the direct hire, you certainly have an increased commitment to that individual. So if you do a contract to hire, they're going to keep on looking for jobs. They're going to keep on kind of tapping into the market and seeing what other opportunities are out there. So if you do the direct hire, that certainly increases your commitment not only to the candidate, but also the candidate to your organization and to the program. So definitely something to consider. And as always, we're always here to answer any questions. Feel free to visit our website, download any of our complimentary data research, and we're always here to help. So don't ever hesitate to reach out. Thanks so much.